All right, Cris Cyborg, Felicia Spencer. I think I might go as far as to say it's the greatest female fight I've ever seen. For many reasons. First off, back and forth battle, but let's start with Cyborg, okay? There was really only one question going into this fight, and I stand pretty firmly on the ground that Cris Cyborg is the best fighter in the world that isn't named Amanda Nunes, and that Cris Cyborg is the second best fighter in the history of the world that isn't named Amanda Nunes. But there's still questions coming in here. First off, how good's Felicia Spencer? And don't forget, she was somewhat new, and she had her Invicta matches. I think she 1-0 in the UFC, but they were stoppages. They were a little bit quick. I think there was 7 of them in total. If I'm wrong, there was 8. There just wasn't a lot out there. So there was a big question. How good is she? Okay, great. So we're going to find that out. But on Cyborg's end of things, how is she going to do coming off not only a loss, but a loss of a championship, a loss of main event status, and far more importantly, a loss by knockout? Look, in boxing, guys will never recover. You'll hear Max Kellerman, you'll hear Teddy Atlas, names that you would know, names that you very much respect, and they will talk about when a boxer gets knocked out, it's over. It's all over. Because the reason you're just in there questioning yourself. Can my chin take it? Can I take this punch? Is that punch coming that's going to catch me? Should I be aggressive? If I'm aggressive, that's when I can get caught. Start to question yourself. It can slow you down. It can make you hesitate. And you will see it in boxing. You could go through fighter after fighter after fighter where that's happened to, and they've not been the same since. And, okay, well, this is now Cyborg's. Cyborg's now wearing that same hat. Oh, and I should add for you that in MMA, it's not necessarily the same as in boxing, but that's because you have the grappling aspect. And if somebody gets caught, they can just turn to something else. There's a few more variables. Not the way Cris Cyborg fights. She's not going to turn to that big double leg takedown or that body lock and clinch. She's going to go out there and she's going to punch and kick, which means she's susceptible to punches and kick his back. So this is the big question. How's she going to deal with that? She was wondering that too. In fairness, she was wondering that too. Okay. The worst thing that could possibly happen to Cris Cyborg, under the circumstances that I just laid out, happened to Cris Cyborg in less than 50 seconds. She takes a huge shot. She takes it to the head. Oh, and by the way, it splits her open and now there's blood coming down. She deals with it. Cris Cyborg passes the test. She's delivering bombs. She's making them into combinations, finishing with kick. Felicia was doing a great job pressuring her, even controlling some of those clinches, putting Cyborg up against the fence. Cyborg's defending the takedowns, delivering knees to the body. Cyborg's fighting. But Cyborg finds herself in a fight. She hit Felicia Spencer with the exact same power and many of the exact same shots that has ended the night for plenty of other opponents, including world championship challenger, number 1 contenders, where Cyborg has shut them off, shut them down, knocked them out, TKO'd them into the night. Those same punches she hit Spencer with. Spencer just didn't seem to care. It was an amazing composure. I was blown away. I really was blown away. I will go that far. 1, at the mental test and the durability that Cris Cyborg passed and got through this. But 2, hello, Felicia Spencer. Where have you been? I mean, this girl can recompose herself. She never quit trying to win that fight. And I agree with her. You know, when you're a fighter and you go into a fight and you sit down with your coaches and you have your training camp, you have all this preparation. If you can go out there and do the game plan that you planned to do, it's a huge victory. And then after that, I mean, look, it's a 2-man sport, right? Maybe you get your hand raised and maybe you don't. In this case, Felicia went out there. She had a great game plan. And she was going to punch, and she was going to slit, and she was going to get to the clinch, and she was going to pressure into the fence, and she was going to strike from there and look for takedowns. She implemented that game plan. Every bit of that plan worked except the takedowns. She didn't find those, but it's a 2-person sport. Not bad, Felicia. Good job, Cris. You stopped the takedowns. I just really think that Felicia Spencer deserves a ton of credit. She's getting it from me. I think her coaches should give it to her. She listened well. She followed the plan. She recomposed herself. Overall, guys, tell me if you disagree with me, and I will admit to a recency bias. I will admit to having a short-term memory when it comes to this sport that I love. I think that was the best female fight I've ever seen.